Hello YouTube, it's Captain Nabs with you once again, here to finish off part 2 of my flight from Toronto City to Ottawa in the Majestic -8 Q400. In part 1 we did all the preparation for departure, we did a takeoff and climbed up to cruise, leveled off in cruise, and started the cruise check, and that's where I had to cut off the video just to keep it to a reasonable length. So we're just going to resume right where we left off, going pretty much right into the preparation for the arrival into Ottawa since we have such a short time in cruise. So without further ado, we'll get right back into it. Check it one more time now that we're in cruise, just to show you the difference here. Now we're showing 640 excess. So now that
Order 235, Ottawa information, India's current plane arrival 07.
Okay, we'll pick up information India there in Ottawa for Porter 235, climbing 07. Alright, so I'm just going to do this the easy way. We're just going to simply grab it via ACARS because it's a busy leg, which just means getting the controller information directly in vPilot here. India weather, winds calm. Looks like a lousy day though, a half mile and light snow. Oh, it's a nasty day there. Good thing our alternative Montreal is looking pretty good overall, so departure runway 07, yeah, alright. Okay, well, you know what, we were going to do the RNAV, I think we may actually do. Alright, we may actually have to do the ILS here into Ottawa. So let me pull up the charts here on my other computer really quick. See if the ILS to the RNAV gets us lower here. Just watching that red line. Red line's okay. ILS takes us down to 573. The RNAV, yeah, I'm going to do the ILS just because I'm not 100% sure that I can trust the RNAV here to do a full LPV. So we're going to change this arrival. We're going to plan the ILS runway 07 now. So ILS 07, no transition because we're going to go straight in via Faisal again. Mechanic Lanark Faisal, again, delete the no link, and we've got the sandwich built Faisal, start of the approach ILS 07, and then there's Faisal again. Okay, speed's okay. We are going to have to get this programmed in here though soon. We just need to trim the airplane a little bit. There, she's a little out of whack. We're just going to bring it very slowly back on the power, just a smidgen, because we're just still gaining a little bit of speed there. Alright. So we got information India. We're going to plan the ILS to 07, so the frequency, we got 1095. And we're just going to set that on the ARC2 here. 1095, we're going to set it on both sides. And that one includes the DME as well, so that's nice. We get that reference. Alright. 1095, set twice, perfect. And inbound course 071, so here's the trick of how to do it in the -8. Press and hold the format button here on the ECID panel there, and there we go. We can now set the ILS course to 071. Have to do the same on the first officer's side. Don't have to really, because whether he sees what's happening or not doesn't really matter, but I'm gonna, you know what, and I don't even have to do that because the first officer's side is not flying. I can just simply change his nav source to ILS, set his inbound course to 071, and then change it back to FMS mode for now. Perfect. Alright, 071, the MDA here is going to be 573, so we're going to set 573, and again I just need to ditch this thing just to see what I'm doing here. 573, so we have to set 580 for our MDA. There it is. Put this back now, thank you. And we need some speeds, so let's just ask the handy FMS, what are we going to weigh when we land there? Says we're going to weigh 54.8, so we'll add an extra 500, so 55.5, so we'll say 56,000 numbers for landing. We're going to make it a flap 15 landing in Ottawa 07, so the speeds it's going to give us are Wow, this thing just keeps on gaining speed here. There we go. So the speeds we're going to get are going to be flap 15, 120, and VGO for flap 15 is going to be 110. This is all 57,000 pounds. And then fry and climb 123 and 147. So we're going to set these here, 123 and 147. There we go, perfect. Okay. And I think we got everything set up. We're ready for a quick briefing here. Pardon me. Alright, so first we're going to just have a look here at the Capital 4 arrival. And we're going to bring up the aerodrome chart as well. So the Capital 4 arrival into Ottawa. And the transition is MIVOC, Canuck at or below 230. Pretty sure we had that in there. Excuse me. How long before top and drop here? Let's just make sure. Let's get a little... we gotta redo this again because we reprogrammed the flight plan. So we just need to hit that Lanark. Not the first one, the second Lanark. At or below 10,000. 1 minute to top of descent. Alright. And Porter 235 request descent. Alright.
Porter 235, Ottawa altimeter 2973. Descend 8,000 when ready.
Alright, 2973, descend 8,000 when ready. Porter 235, thank you. Alright. Don't think I said that all totally correctly, but anyways, there's 8,000. Alright, not quite totally set. Alright, there we go. So we got 8,000 feet set. Alt-cell. VNAV is now armed. And we did set the 2973 in the standby, so we've got it ready when we transition. It's going to be a little bit, got to watch this VNAV because it's going to come any second now here, but on the flight plan here, Canuck at or below 230, again, that restriction does not matter, so I'm just going to get rid of it altogether. And I'm going to delete the extra Lanark here as well. There we go. How's that VNAV look now? Coming in quickly here. I'm going to start pulling the power back a little bit now because it's going to come up pretty quickly here. Alright. So we do MIVOC, we do Canuck, we do Lanark at or below 10,000. And then after Lanark we go to Visol at or above 3,000 and a max 210 knots. Here comes the path. We're going to start to pitch down pretty aggressively here, so we're going to manage the descent for a second here before we finish the briefing. Not the ideal way to do it, but again, partly because I have no first officer to help me out, but also just partly because the cruise portion is so short. You don't have much of an option on an Ottawa leg. You have to just, pretty much your briefing is either going to be done in the climb or the descent. Take your pick. Alright. Speed seems to be pretty under control there. It's gaining very slightly. So at Visol, we cross it at above 3,000 and a max 210 knots. And it's all there. And then we transition into the ILS to runway 07 here in Ottawa. So the frequency 1095 was set twice here on the ArcDo's, 1095, 1095. Inbound course 071 was set both sides. And we're just going to just keep an eye on that. Yeah, speed's okay. Okay, good. The glide slope check height at Amobi is 1700 and the ILSDA is 573, 580 set left. I don't set 580 on the right. I could do that now. Oh, it automatically synced. Oh, perfect. Oh, I didn't know that synced automatically. Great. Alright, 580 set. And the touchdown zone elevation is touchdown zone elevation is 373. No real special notes here. No procedure turns. Or no procedure turn. We can do straight in at 1,800 feet. Yeah, we're not too worried about that. The missed approach is climb to 3,000 feet, direct the Ottawa NDB, and as required shuttle climb. That should also be in here. So we got Visol, we got Amobi at 1,700. Runway 07, and then we go direct the Ottawa NDB and hold. As published, it's basically straight into the hold, inbound on the 073. Missed approach, and let's see here. So it's a 3-degree glide slope, and we'll have looks like we'll have a good approach lighting system. Pappy's on the left. Land 07, we got lots of room, 8,000 feet. We'll plan a vacate left on Foxtrot. Back to the apron if we have to go around. We're probably going to divert to Montreal right away. We don't have a lot of extra fuel to really make a second attempt at this, so if we have to do it a second time, let's see, let's have a quick look at the fuel here. There's not a lot of, we got 1,100. We probably could come back and try it one more time, but if we don't get in the first time, it's probably not going to be a whole lot better the second time. Just going to get some lights going on here because I notice it's starting to get a little dark. That's all I've really got. No NOTAMs affecting the arrival right now. It is kind of lousy, so if we have to go around, well, so be it. And well, like I said, we might try a second time, or we'll just head up to Montreal. We'll see if the weather's improving before we try a second time. And that's about it. Alright, so with that, I guess the approach briefing is complete. And let's see, altitude, we've already come through 18,000, haven't we? Yes, we have. So let's set 2973. Wrong way. This will create a little bit of a... You either need to do this slowly, or you can redo the vertical, the VNav, because it offsets the vertical path, and it tends to get a little bit aggressive trying to find it again sometimes. In this case, it's going to work out okay. And yeah, so let's just do a quick descent check there. So fuel, we did check in the briefing. The approach line briefing is complete. The cabin altitude controls are set pretty well for 300 something foot elevation, and the where am I here? Lost myself. Cabin PA. We're not going to do, but you could PA the peeps, tell them what's going to happen. Tell them that it's going to be snowing. It's snowing there. Alright, so it looks like it's going to be a bit lousy down there, so maybe we'll get the people belted in early, get the flight attendants ready a little early, because it's probably going to be bumpy as we go down. Alright. Looks like it's only Toronto Centre all the way down to the ground in Ottawa. I'm okay with that. But might be a bit of an interesting one here. Curious to see what happens here. Alright. We got the wind behind us. It's not too bad now. It's only 30 knots. That's not a whole lot of wind behind us, but it is going to make it a little bit challenging for us. One thing we can do is we can throw up the is it on VOR1? It is on VOR1, isn't it? Yeah, they are both on VOR, so we're good. We'll have a little bit of extra reference as we get ready there. We're getting close to 10,000, so we'll start bringing that speed back. We're getting there. See, it seems nice here. Not too much snow here, but what it says in the ground in Ottawa, though, it looks like it's going to be lousy. So, I'll be curious to see if my weather loads that accurately. It should, I would hope. But if it's a half mile, that's exactly what we need to do the approach. So, like I said, it should be an interesting one. Anyways, is it a half mile? Oh, it's a 1.5 miles in the snow. Oh, I thought it said a half mile before. Oh, 1.5. Oh, see, I misread it. Okay, 1.5's not bad. It's still enough anyways. Don't need to power that far back. Probably could have done the RNF. Oh well. We're going to do the ILS now. Well, maybe we won't have to do the go-around after all. It's probably good. This video would probably turn into a really long one if we ended up having to do the go-around and divert to our alternate. It'd be nice to do that one day, though. It's always a bit of a gong show, but a fun gong show nevertheless. I enjoyed the challenge. Alright, so we're straight in here. We do have the ILS tuned in, and it looks like we're getting the DME already. It looks like we're about 40 miles back from the field. And we're coming through 10,000. Perfect. Let's do 10,000 approach check. So
235, descend 3,000.
Alright, descend 3,000, Porter 235. There's 3,000. I got a message coming up on the FMS. It's probably maybe just a waypoint alert because we're just coming up on Lanark. Alright, so we got 3,000 feet is set, and let's go back to those lights are all on, and let's go ahead and do the approach checklist. So altimeters 2973. I've got 1, 2, and 3 set. And the nav aids, I have them tuned in. Let's identify them. Let's see if we can get them to actually identify here. Oh, I hear the Morse code, but I don't have the plate up. IOW. Let's see here. Dash. Alright, number 1's identified, and number 2. Alright, that one's also identified. Perfect. Nav aids are identified. Not too worried if it's VMC, but today it's pretty lousy out here, so we definitely want to make sure that the ILS is the correct ILS. Ice detected. Okay, ice detected. Speed checks. Ice protection is all on. Might need the icing all the way to the ground today, so maybe we should plan on some ice numbers here. Excuse me. Flap 15, we've got to add 20 knots to all of our numbers. That ends up adding a lot. Okay, finish this approach checklist. Fuel transfer is off. And I forgot the part of the checklist here. Tank aux pumps are on. GPWS landing flap 15 is selected. Hide quantity is checked. Caution and warning lights check. Seatbelts are on. Lights are on. And the cabin, we'll say the cabin is secure, and that completes the approach check. Perfect. Alright, we should hopefully be getting the ILS soon here. And Toronto from Porter 235. If we didn't specify it earlier, we're going to plan the ILS 07.
Roger that, 295.
Not too bad at this altitude, but forward bids is not great. Be interesting to see what we see when we get there. I don't think I've done a go around the Majestic in quite a while, so maybe a less than a clean go around, but we'll see what happens. If the video suddenly magically ends in Ottawa, then you may have to check the voice recorder to see if to see what actually happened. Alright. I think we're pretty much all caught up here. We're just waiting for this to happen. Waiting to get to Faisal at or above 3,000. I think we're VNaving right down to Faisal at 3,000, aren't we? Yeah, it wants to start the Faisal. It says at or above 3,000, cross at 3,000. I'm not sure if it's going to actually cross it at 3,000 or above. Either way. Should start getting the speed back early because we still do have the tailwind. Tailwind never helps you in this airplane, especially if you're a little bit heavy. We're not terribly heavy. 57,000 is not particularly heavy, but heavy enough that we need to be a little bit on it. Make sure that we're slowed down early. We don't want to have an unstable approach. Alright, we did have a max speed, I think, at 210 at Faisal anyways, didn't we? Which really we want to definitely be at or below 210. We want to be pretty much getting ready to extend the flaps. Faisal's about a 10-mile final. We want to make sure we're getting ready to extend the first stage of flaps there at Faisal, so ideally get the speed back to about 200 knots by the time we get to Faisal. Get that first stage of flaps out. Constantly trimming this airplane too. Now I see the forward vis is dropped in here. We're still 6.9 from Faisal, but we'll sneak the speed just below 200 to make sure we're ready for that first stage of flaps without too much issue. Alright, so one neat trick you can do as well is the PM, the pilot monitoring, can always switch to the ILS a little early and just see how their ILS is synced up to your vertical and horizontal path. It looks like we're pretty much just about on the localizer there. About less than a third of a dot off, and we're just a little bit below the glide slope, so we're perfect. We're right where we need to be. The speed's right where we need to be. This is all working out really well. But that's a neat little trick you can do, is you can for the side of the pilot not flying, the one that isn't selected and the airplane's flying off of, you can go to the blue needles a little early there. That is 4,000 descending 3,000.
Porter 235, intercept the localizer, cleared the ILS 07 approach.
Porter 235, copy, cleared the ILS, runway 07. Alright, we're cleared for the approach. Gonna let it get a little closer to Faisal. It's probably about actually as close as we need to be. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna quickly go to VS mode. It'll lock it at -800, go to heading mode, and we're just going to go to ILS 1 and arm the approach. There's loc already, and glide slope is armed. We're also going to do, at this point, high pumps on, flap 5, and the FA notification. Cabin crew, please be seated for landing. There's Alt Star, so we're going to level off very briefly here at 3,000 just to catch the glide slope. The glide slope's only a dot above us. Message is probably a VNAV disconnect, alert above VNAV altitude, that's fine. Don't care about the VNAV anymore. At this point we're now getting ready to lock in on the ILS. Alright, so we are established on the ILS, so we're going to set 071, which is the inbound course. So if we do a go around, we'll immediately just start flying runway heading. There's Alt. Glide slope. And the go around altitude is set. Down we go. Alright. Moment of truth. Are we going to spot a runway, or are we going to have to do a go around? I think we're going to spot it, but it's not going to be great. We're going to get pretty down there before we spot that runway, which is going to be fun. Haven't done an approach minutes in a little while. Disregard, the missed approach altitude is set. I see some traffic on there. Some of the traffic I have in here, some of it's VATSIM traffic, but I've also just got some AI traffic turned on, a small percentage, just to populate the airports a little bit. So hopefully that traffic will be off the runway by the time we get there. I'm not going to do a go around for traffic on the runway if it's AI traffic. If it's dumb AI traffic that's not going to move off the runway for me, we'll just see if we can land over their heads. Alright, we're coming up on Moby, so let's go gear down. And after about 6 seconds we get 1, 2, 3 green. Flap 10, and let's go flap 15. And because it's kind of snowy out there, let's just do condition levers max without the reduced NP. Condition levers max. Let's get some ground contact. Okay, not too bad. And let's do the before landing checklist. The landing checklist. Landing checklist. Standby high press P2 controller on. Landing gears down. 3 green. Flap is 15 set and indicated. And condition levers are max. The ice protection is all on. And we still have the ice protection warning? We do, so we're going to have to add some numbers to our ref there. Ice tech.
Porter 235, winds 070, 2 knots, clear to land 07.
Clear to land 07, Porter 235. Complete airs min and on in the FA notification. Landing check's complete. And I guess we got got some lights anyways showing through there. So our new ref speed is 20 knots faster than 120. So we're just going to apply manually. It's 140 is our ref speed here. So we're going to have to be pretty bang on because it's going to definitely increase our landing distance here. Looks like we're getting some forward viz. It's not great, but we're getting across the river there. You can see some of the lights of the terminal, but the question is, will we see the lights of the runway? And I'll be honest, this is new Ottawa scenery that I loaded just recently, so I don't know if we're going to have lights. Oh, I think we're seeing some lights. I think we're going to be okay here. Don't think we're quite lined up to the runway, though. I don't think this ILS is very well aligned. Oh, that's hilarious. I may have to do something about that. It pointed me at the threshold, but it's not aligned correctly, so we may have to tweak this prepared here. 100 above. Okay, runways at sight. Disengage in the autopilot because we need to align with the runway. That's kind of dumb. Alright, anywho. We may have to investigate that localizer. Get a little bit of reverse in there. I don't know how slippery this runway is. Oh, it's not very slippery. We're doing pretty good here.
Porter 235, welcome to Ottawa. Exit left when able, report clear.
Left turn when able, report clear, Porter 235. Alright. Making the left on Foxtrot. Alright, that worked out pretty well in the end. I forgot to turn the taxi light on when we were cleared to land, didn't we? I know we were cleared to land, but distraction. Porter 235, clear 07 on Foxtrot, taxi gate 18.
Porter 235, taxi on Bravo Alpha, gates at your discretion.
Alright, taxi Bravo and apron discretion, Porter 235. Thank you for the service. Trying to use the rudder there, wasn't working for me. Alright, as soon as we get around the corner, we'll just do the after landing checklist. Feels like I'm taxiing really fast here. Am I taxiing fast? I'm not sure. It's so hard to get a real good sense of motion. That grass over there in the sides, though, is kind of nice. It's giving me a bit of sense of motion. Okay. Alright, so now we can get some lights off so we don't blind anybody. Taxi light can come on. And anti-collision go to red. Alright. And we're going to leave the windshield heats on. We're slowing down a little bit too much there. Give it just a little bit. We can turn off the side window heat, I guess, but we could turn off all the ice protection. Actually, we'll leave those on. And those, okay. That's just ice protection for the caution light. Alright, let's do the after landing checklist. So the radar is off. Transponder staying on. Alt. Flaps are 0. Control lock is on. Tank ox pumps are off. Yaw damper is off. Flight taxi is taxi. Anti-collision is red. All other lights are as required. Ice protection is standard, plus the windshield just to keep it clear for me to see where we're going. Main bus tie is tied and the APU is off now. Shut there after a landing checklist complete. And there we go. We did make it in. It is snowing here in Ottawa. Anybody feeling festive yet? It's creating an interesting effect. It's very kind of hazy, indistinct sky, but that's it's actually it's not a bad snow effect though, really. I mean, I don't think that's necessarily intentional. I think it has more to do with the time, but it's just the haziness, the indistinctness of the ceiling is great. That really does look like a snowy day here in Ottawa. So there we go. Well, we managed to get another flight done. It's been a while since I got a flight done. It's a challenging time of year, and just a busy, always busy. And I have actually tried to do a couple of flights, but some things haven't worked out. As I said, I had some control issues with another one I tried to do, and I ended up giving up on it at the time. I had to reload it after a period of time. It became a little frustrating, so I stopped. But I'm glad I managed to get this flight done. So this is hope this has been another enjoyable trip for you guys. Seeing the Dash 8 at work. It's a great airplane, and having a lot of fun with it. I'm almost a little disappointed we didn't have to do the go around. I think the go around would have been messy. I haven't done a go around for a while, so it would have been messy. But I think it would have been interesting to see it. And maybe one of these days we will try to get out there on a day where we will have to potentially do a go around. It would be interesting to certainly see a diversion. It's days where things go off the rails that are almost more interesting than the days where everything works the way it's supposed to. So that worked out pretty well, pretty much the way it was supposed to, other than I wasn't expecting it to be the weather to be that bad when we got here, but it's okay. We're here now. And I think there might be somebody parked on our gate. So we might have to park at gate 20 here. Or maybe this is gate 18. No, we don't need to throw it in reverse on the apron. Alright. I can't even read what that says. That says 8. That says 20. Okay. Alright, well that's fine. We can park at gate 20. Alright, so we'll say the marshaller's in sight. We'll turn the taxi light off. And I don't think the jetways actually work here. Which is a shame because I did actually finally define the door on this airplane. So at places where there is a working jet bridge, I will be able to let's get that centered so I can see what we're doing here. Alright, and check the high pressures again. The high pressures all check. That should be about center, but let's have a quick peek outside. Pretty close. Just gonna simulate my own marshalling here. The thing about the Dash 8 as well, because of those disking props, is that you don't have to use the brakes a whole lot. It's nice in contaminated conditions because it's easy to slow the airplane down without relying on the brakes. But if you plan your flight well, you can make it all the way to the gate. Oh, stop just a smidgen too soon. And parking brake. You can make it all the way to the gate without ever actually having to use the brakes. Alright, parking brake. High pumps norm and shut down checklist. And I think I'm missing something there from that flow. So we definitely need the bleeds off. Shut down checklist. Taxi light is off. Where's my shutdown? There it is. Transponder. Standing by. Emergency parking brake is set. And standby high press P2 control norm. Power levers are disc. Condition levers are start feather. No steering is off. Seat belts are off. And what I should be doing actually while I'm doing before I start this checklist is request the GPU. And I didn't start the timer either. I'm out of practice on this. Probably been 30 seconds. Anyways, bleed air 1 and 2 is min and off external power APU. So external power, hopefully we should be able to get it on now. Let's just check. Yep, external power is on. Perfect. And condition levers 30 seconds. So we look at the clock. It's been 30 seconds definitely since I originally put them to start feather. So fuel off. Lights as required. Standby aux and main batteries off. Battery master off. And parking brake staying on. iPad airplane mode. Won't worry about. And there we are. Let me just hit Control J and see if it works. I don't think it does at this scenery. No, I didn't think it does. Alright, let's go ahead and open some doors. Bing, bing, bing. Aft baggage door. And welcome to Ottawa. We made it. Snowy day out, snowy evening there. Starting to look a little bit like Christmas out here in Ottawa. But not bad scenery, that's for sure. But we made it. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. I've had a lot of fun flying it. My plan is to just save the scenario right here and do the return flight to Toronto City not right after this, but the next time I come here, I get online, I will do the flight right back. So I am looking forward to doing that flight as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you watch the next video. Please like the videos and subscribe to the channel if you like what you see. My systems training is also coming along. The fuel module is next. It's not really coming along very quickly. It's a time of year where we just don't have a lot of time to do stuff, so it will get done as soon as I can, but please don't expect it anytime soon. I will get it done eventually. It's underway. It's been started, but just might be slow this time of year. But please do continue watching my videos, like the channel, or subscribe to the channel, like what you see, and I will see you all out there in the virtual skies.